Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Nakia. Okay, today's video is a follow-up to the previous video I recorded on SQL, a tutorial on CTEs. Today's video is going to be on subqueries. So a subquery is pretty much just a query within another query. You're selecting from that. Some people refer to it as a subselect, so just subquery, subselect, up to you on what you want to call it, but I call it a subquery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work off of the example that I used in my CTE video. If you haven't seen that, I will link that in the description box as well as in the eye above. But let's go ahead and get started. So with the CTE example that I did in the previous video, we're pretty much creating like a temp table and selecting off of that below. So what I'm going to do is delete the select from the CTE below because we're not going to need that. And we're going to change this into a subquery. So I'm going to delete the CTE example information from above as well. So with a subquery, this piece here would actually be considered the subquery portion. And we could do a select all from this and make that our subquery very simple. So for example, let me just write this in if I can spell. And this would be our subquery. We were just selecting all from the query that we had above. And that's our subquery. But what I'm going to do is modify this a little bit because I like to give like a use case example. And one of the use cases that I use a subquery for at work would be, let's say if I had information or had data that I needed to pull by date, and then I needed to aggregate that data by month. I may not necessarily need to show the day over day results in my final product or my dashboard or whatever I'm producing, but you always, or I won't say always, but you sometimes need to show day over or need to have access to the day over day results in order to do your validations, in order to, like, let's say someone is questioning results for a particular day, you can go back and pull results from that specific subquery portion to see the daily results, even though at the end, the final roll up is by month. So let's go ahead and alter this query a little bit and we'll go through the subquery. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is make an adjustment to the subquery or inner select here. I'm going to make an adjustment to the subquery here. Instead of summing my duration minutes here, I'm just going to leave it as is because I'm going to pull it by day. So I'm going to delete this out. And then I'm going to add in from our bike share trips data, there is a date here in our start time. And I believe there's also, isn't there an end time? No, just a start time. So since we have a start time, I'm going to use that in the query to get my date from. So I'm going to add my date first. So I'm going to add a comma before subscriber type, and then I'm going to extract the date from the start time. So I'm going to cast my start time. Oh, hold on. As date. And I'm going to call this field as date. And I'm going to put an underscore after it because date is actually a keyword here. So I have that. And then I don't need my group by, so I'm going to comment that out because I'm not aggregating any data. I don't need to group by here. And with your subquery, you are selecting, unlike the CTE, your select statement comes from the top, unlike the CTE where it's from the bottom. So what I'm going to do, let me run this actually to make sure I'm getting the data by date. So let's run that. Okay, so we have our date here. and then we have the minutes, and then we have it by subscriber type. So what I'm going to do in my outer query portion is that I'm going to change my date type from a date. I want to see it by month, and I want to sum my duration minutes by date. I mean, not by date, by month and subscriber type. So that's what we're going to do in the outer portion of the query. So I'm going to change what I'm selecting. Give me 1 second. So we have our select, and what I'm going to do is say extract month from, and my date name, my date field, and as month. And then I'm going to select the subscriber type. Oh, what is this? And I'm going to summarize or aggregate the duration minutes here. No. And because I am aggregating here the duration minutes, I do need to add a group by in the outer portion of my select. Okay. So we have our month, subscriber type, and duration minutes that we're selecting from here. So let's go ahead and run this. And there we have it. So we can actually, let me do something. Let me order by month and by duration minutes. And I'm going to run that again. So we can see here by month and subscriber type, the bike subscribers who are using it the most each month, and where we're not getting any usage out of these types of subscribers here. So our 24-hour walk-up pass and walk-up seem to be like the highest. Okay. And then anytime you're aggregating your data, what I like to do, and this is just me, I like to double check my work. So I'm going to do an outer select. And this is just another way, just like a CTE is another way to kind of do like a subquery. It's similar. You can get similar results doing the same thing different ways. Like, it's always good to know how to do and get the same result multiple ways. So this is just another way to go about it. But I can do select, let's see, subscriber, select my subscriber type, select the sum duration minutes, and from, I'm gonna just copy this table name, and let's look at to see if we get the same result for, what was the highest one? 24-hour walk-up pass. Remember that number for me? So we're going to select the subscriber type, the duration minutes from the bike share table where the subscriber type is the 24-hour walk-up pass, and the month, this was in January, so and equals 1 and group by 1. Okay, so we should come up with the same result as this line here. So let's run it. What is the problem? Okay, let me try this. This might be the issue. I may not have it typed in correctly. Let me try it again. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I had that typed in incorrectly somewhere, but we got the same result. So again, multiple ways to do the same thing, but just giving an example, like if I needed to see this by date here and then roll it up by month, this is like something I would do in the real world, because if someone had a question, okay, which particular subscriber we want to see it day over day, like I already have that in my code. I don't have to go rewrite it. I can just run this inner portion and produce the results. So that is it for subqueries. Hopefully this was pretty simple and easy to follow. If not, go ahead and leave a comment below with any questions that you have, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.